Good morning, sunshines. It's my first day of work today. That would be 4th September 2023. If you're new here, my name is Lydia and I am a recent fresh grad of NUS and I did communications. I was feeling really nervous last night, but I actually feel kind of okay today. Currently making some breakfast. By the way, I'm using black sesame paste. This is actually the best. I love it a lot. I'm a little excited to go into work for the first time, I think, and get to know my bearings. And it helps that I woke up today not feeling too groggy, even though it's earlier than I used to get up when, I was not working. I think I am also going to make a matcha just for the road, because it will feel a little bit wrong if I don't actually. And I will probably need some caffeine for today. I don't know if you can hear me. I've arrived a little early. I still got 10 minutes or so. So sitting around here, and then I'm gonna wait to go in later. At this point, some of you might be wondering, what is it that I actually do? Which is a very valid question, because I realized I have been vlogging this whole day and telling you guys that I got a job without explaining what it is that I actually do. Basically, my job is part of I would say, very long process within an investment chain. Very broadly speaking, I work in finance. I actually work in a private investment company now, which if you have never ever heard of the term before, it's essentially a company that invests in things that are not on the public market, aka your stock exchange. And what I do in part of this investment process is that I write, currently I assist in writing the proposals. So my official title is called proposal specialist. There's also various other ways that you could put it. It could be kind of marketing content writer, which if you see it that way is more aligned with what I studied, which is communications. But essentially I use marketing knowledge along with finance knowledge that I'm learning now, learning about the company. A lot of things to do with the company, not just about the investment funds, but also the way that they operate. So a lot of operational details, sometimes risk, compliance questions, or ESG questions. We just piece them all together into this proposal document according to what the client asks the company, and then we send it out to them in hopes that they'll read it and then they'll be satisfied with it, and hopefully they'll close a deal with us. If you were to ask me, I wouldn't honestly say that this is something that I expected myself to get into. And I feel like this is a whole other conversation. I have been wanting to do a podcast about finding jobs and all of that, this whole broad topic, for a really long time. It's just that work has been a little busy. I am learning so many things that are pretty out of my depth, and the learning curve has been this, really. But that it has been really rewarding and fulfilling so far, and that I don't regret this job that I've taken or anything like that, and that there are some parts that I truly do enjoy and find intellectually stimulating, which I feel is the most important part for me, because I know that if I get bored at whatever I'm doing, then it's bad news. I can't stick with feeling I'm doing nothing at a job, at a task at work. Ignore my clothes and clothes rack over there. Actually, you can watch my room tour video on Instagram if you don't follow me there. I don't post very regularly, but I do, have some updates here and there. Anyway, this is where I might work from home sometimes, if I am working from home on my cute little balcony, where it's nice and peaceful and I can breathe fresh air instead of cold, stale office air on a weekday. I kind of like it. case you're wondering, I am clearly in the bathroom right now because it's one of the few places in my office that I can talk. I am at work pretty early. It's only 8:37 a.m. and working hours are at 9. What I like to do is come into work earlier so that I can do my face kind of early in the morning. I feel like it's really a personal preference thing, but I just don't like the feeling of makeup sitting on my face like for the whole day, so I try to put on as late as possible and then let my skincare like sit first as I commute to work. I didn't have a good sleep last night, as I generally have like pretty okay sleep. I happened to wake up at 4:30 this morning, so I've only got about 4+ hours in me at the moment, and I couldn't go back to sleep, which is a little difficult, which is why I am going to have my matcha dirty, aka with coffee this morning. But this is what the morning usually looks like. I'm gonna go back to my desk, have my brekkie while probably like catching up on the news and any emails that came in over the weekend. And yeah, it's work all the way until lunch. Lunch today, which is not something that I do every day, but we had leftovers from dinner and I wanted to save money. I'm also eating with my team today, but they're all obviously out like buying food, so I'm waiting for everyone to come back. I'm just gonna show y'all what I'm having first. Doesn't look appetizing, but it's purple cabbage, potatoes, and sausage, so it's not bad. Sometimes I will have meetings throughout the day, so I am just about to hop on one. This is kind of like a team meeting, but globally, because for my company we work with a lot of international people. And yeah, I'm going to get on it in a couple of minutes. Anyway, this is a pretty standard call. There's nothing like, I would say, urgent going on. It's one of those, what you call in business speak, BAU, so business as usual. Like monthly catch-up call for everyone to talk about what they've done and then report on like the progress on certain things. So obviously I'm not going to talk a lot because I haven't done a lot. I've mostly really just been like shadowing people and helping out with the small parts. There's not a lot of time for breakfast, so I got myself orange juice for some hydration, and then I'm probably just gonna have these biscuits really quick because the meeting starts in like 5 minutes. Okay, thanks for meeting. Hello, yeah, I think all of these would have been mentioned before. I am just like shadowing a couple of RFPs, so I'm about to go into my second meeting of the day. This one is the one that happens right in the beginning of every project that we get assigned to, because we just got assigned one, or I just got assigned one alongside my colleague yesterday. That's why we're having this call today, where he's going to just run through the proposal and then see what needs to get done basically. So that's just another kind of meeting that is part of like my normal week. I just finished work and it's about 7 p.m. so it's pretty late. I was really tied up today. I've been doing work since basically 9-10 a.m. when I came into office. There honestly isn't much to show you guys. I was really just tapping away at my desk for like a good few hours before I go for my dance class, which is pretty nearby. I thought I would talk a little bit about how working has been. One change that I've definitely had to face, and I mean all of us do when going into the working world, has been losing to a significant extent, I feel, my freedom and flexibility. That is just an inevitable factor of going into somewhere that has a very regimented work life. Not that it has been extremely difficult, But I think I have had to shelve some of my self-seeking tendencies to only work on what I want to work on when I want to work on it. Whether it was writing my blog or doing videos, I get to choose when I want to do it and when I'm motivated in that particular moment. But that's not the case with work. You can't just decide not to work. You have to work all the time. There are deliverables that need to be done, and it's just something that you kind of have to recognize. So I think that's definitely a big way that life has changed. The loss of time to myself replaced by dedication of time to a whole other entity, knowing that they have priced my time at a certain rate and that I am being paid to do things and use my brain and give value back to this company. It has been trying to remember what is the whole point of work, how I conceive work, and what at the end of the day it is to me. Is it something that defines me? And how much does it mean to me really, work itself? Is it like a paycheck, or is it something that I find is an opportunity, a privilege, and a blessing to work? I see all this as ways to learn about the world, about universes that I don't even know anything about, and to grow as a person ultimately. I think that is how I personally conceive doing work, and that is what motivates me. Like, that's my intrinsic motivation. In doing so, I think I still find enjoyment in work. And I think that I always will, no matter what kind of work it is, because I have always liked a certain form of work. Working towards something, being fruitful towards something, as opposed to not having any output whatsoever, no matter how tiring, how busy it can get. I know it's really annoying to have to use my phone all the time, but I don't have money to buy a mic. This is gonna have to do because it is really noisy everywhere here, and I cannot help that. I am going to head to my dance class now, which is one of those things that I am purposefully doing so that I still retain, I feel, like a sense of my soul, and is one of the things that I think some people might relate to after starting work, is that you lose yourself because you give so much of yourself during the work week, during working hours, and you give all of that, and then there is no retention of who you really are, like your spirit, or my spirit, what I really like, what keeps me going outside of the four walls of the office. So that is what I'm doing tonight, to try and get back a sense of my soul, keep it for myself, and keep it in my heart as I move to music, whether that's in a beautiful way or in an ugly way, which is gonna be ugly because I haven't gone for this genre before. It's gonna be something to look at, I'm sure.